Hi guys, today we're going to look at substitution. Now this should be revision for you again, so hopefully it won't be too tricky for you. Just a reminder, substitution is where you replace a number for a variable that might be in an expression or in a formula that you then work out the value of that expression overall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through a few different examples to talk you through, and so the first one says, given that f equals 6 and g equals 5, work out the value of 3f minus 2g. Well, I know 3f means 3 times f, and f is 6, and minus 2 times the value of g, which is 5. So I've got 3 times 6 minus 2 times 5. 3 times 6 is 18, minus 2 times 5, which is 10. 18 minus 10 gets me 8. Number 2, I've got a formula this time. V equals u plus 5t. I'm given that u equals 4 and t equals minus 3, and I'm asked to work out the value of v. So I'm going to keep the formula the same. I'm just going to replace the u for the value that I've got in the question, plus 5 times negative 3. So v is equal to 4 plus 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. So I've actually got v equals 4 minus 15. So my value of v is minus 11. Question number 3. Work out the value of p when r is minus 5 and q is minus 4. So p is equal to 3r, so 3 times the negative 5. You can put it in brackets if you want to make it slightly easier. Plus 2 times q, which is minus 4 squared. Now when I square a negative number, I always put it into brackets, because it helps me to just remember that it's negative. And remember, when a negative number is multiplied by a negative number, the result will be positive. So p is equal to 3 times minus 5, which is minus 15, plus 2 times minus 4 squared. So 2 times minus 4 squared is 16. P is equal to, now I'm just going to keep this the same because I've already worked out what I needed there, plus 32, because that's the 2 times the 16. Please watch out, the squared is with the q, not with the whole of the 2q, so it's only the q value that you need to square. Back to this, I just need to work it out. Minus 15 plus 32 is 17, so p equals 17. Number 4 then. Here I've got a written, worded sort of formula. So I've got the rule to change UK shoe size into a European shoe size is that you multiply the UK size by 1.25 and then add 32. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all write myself a little formula that I can use that's going to help me work it out. So EU, just for Europe, it's just slightly easier, EU size is equal to the UK size multiplied by 1.25 and then adding 32 on. Part A of the question says Katie's UK shoe size is 5, work out her European shoe size. So European size is going to be her UK size, which is 5, multiplied by 1.25 and then add on 32. Now this is a calculator question, so I'm just going to type this into my calculator. 5 times 1.25 is 6.25, and then I need to add on the 32. When I add on 32, I get 38.25. Now in the question, European shoe sizes are given as whole numbers, so we can say she's either going to be a 38, because I would round this down, or she's going to be a 39, as a 38 might be too small, because she's slightly over, so I'm going to go with 39. The exam mark scheme actually did allow 38 or 39, but logically I think 39 is slightly better. Gustav's European shoe size is 42. Work out his UK size. So I know 42 is equal to his UK size multiplied by 1.25 and then add 32. So for this one I'm going to have to work backwards and solve the equation. So I'm going to subtract 32 from both sides. That leaves me with 10 is equal to the UK size times 1.25. I now need to divide both sides by 1.25. So I get 10 divided by 1.25, which gets me 8. So 8 is his UK size. Okay, question number 5. X is 0.7. Work out the value of x plus 1 all squared over 2x. Write down all the figures on your calculator display. Lovely. It's 2 marks. Now, in case I make an error in my typing in my calculator, I would always recommend that you show the working of what you're going to type into your calculator. So I'm going to type in 0.7 because that's x plus 1, close the brackets and squared, all over 2 times 0.7. So typing that in, I need a fraction, open my brackets, 0.7 plus 1, close my brackets and squared, over 2 times 0.7, and I get that number. 2.0642851. Question asks for me to write down all the figures on my calculator display, which is what you can see I've done there. Okay, number 6. Given that y is 18.8 and c is minus 2.4, I need to work out the value of x, and they've given me the formula here. So y is 18.8, that's equal to 4x, and I want to work out the value of x, so I can't change the value of that, plus c, and so I'm going to add on minus 2.4. At this stage, if you just want to write the subtraction there, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to rewrite that like that. And now I know that you're able to solve this. I add 2.4 to both sides to get me 18.8 plus 2.4. Could probably have done that in my head, but it doesn't matter. 21.2 is equal to 4x, and then divide both sides by 4. I just need to divide that number there, so I'm just going to literally press answer, divide by 4, and that gets me 5.3. Just make sure on the answer line you just say x equals 5.3. Final question for you. Now, this is a substitution question, but it's a slightly more problem solving, more thinking type question. So we've got a rectangle, it's got a width of 2x minus 3 and an area of 10x squared minus x minus 21. Work out the length. So hopefully we're happy that the length is this side of the rectangle here, because length times width makes the area. So I'm just going to write that down actually. Area equals length times width. So I need to work out what the value for the area is and what the value for the width is. So the area is 10x squared minus x minus 21. So I get 10 times 4 squared minus 4 minus 21. So I get 10 times Remember your laws of indices here, your BIDMAS, your BODMAS, whatever you call it, order of operations. 4 squared is 16, so I'll do my indices first. What I am just going to do is I'm going to combine this because it's all the same level operation, so that is going to be minus 25. I now can work out this, so I get 160 here, minus 25, so that is 135. That's my area. I'm also given my width. My width is 2x minus 3. So when x is 4, I just substitute it in. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 3 is 5. So I know that the value for my area, which I will circle in blue for you, so 135 is equal to the length here, which is what I'm asked to work out, multiplied by the width. Now to work out the length, all I need to do is to divide both sides by 5. 135 divided by 5 is 27. So the length is 27 centimetres. Now that would have been a question on a non-calculator paper. So if you're not confident in doing something like that, all you need to do is a bus stop.